The woodlands of the Iberian Peninsula in Europe's southwest corner form one of the most extraordinary forests in the world. A complex ecosystem stretching across Spain and Portugal. These woods teem with wildness and life. For thousands of years, some of the most astonishing, endangered, and unusual animals on Earth have made this place their home. A habitat shaped by the region's proximity to Africa, these are some of the most diverse woodlands in the world. But this is also a savage land. Life here is hard. Every species must fight to survive. Now, with the climate changing faster than ever before, the future here is becoming more uncertain. In these ancient forests that have sustained existence for millennia, life now is always on the edge. The Iberian Peninsula in the southwest corner of Europe is one of the most biodiverse regions on Earth. Its climate and close proximity to Africa make it a unique and complex ecosystem and the gateway between the two continents. Here in southern Spain, one of Europe's best preserved forests is found, the Cork Oak Natural Park in Andalusia. An ancient woodland of cork, holm, and gall oak trees, this is home to a diverse cast of animal species. Alongside the eagles, gennets, and foxes who populate these parts, lives an animal that reached Iberia nearly 3,000 years ago. The mongoose. Found mainly in Africa, this is the sole species of mongoose in Europe. And today, this particular family is hunting wild rabbits, an animal native to Iberia. The mongooses have located an underground rabbit warren that's been unoccupied for some time. They've also identified young rabbits, not from the neighborhood, who have strayed a little too far away from home. The rabbits sense danger. Whilst agile and fast, they must get underground if they are to be safe. But away from their own warren, this terrain is unfamiliar. And unknown to them, the mongooses are already one step ahead. Strategically positioned, the mongooses usher the rabbits into the abandoned warren, turning it into a trap. The mongooses move in to control all entrances and exits. Expert diggers, they work together to trap a rabbit inside a tunnel. As they dig into the earth, the scent of rabbit grows stronger. Excitement builds as they near their prey. With their attack primed, tension rises. One mistake will let the rabbits escape. At last, this mongoose has broken into a run and come away with a rabbit trapped inside. Whilst the mongoose is hunted as a team, only one rabbit has been caught. And today, the lucky hunter who came away with the prize has no intention of sharing. After waiting for the coast to clear, the remaining rabbits can emerge from underground. Today, they survived on instinct and luck. But they will have learned a valuable lesson about surviving in these woodlands. For all animals here, it's advisable never to stray too far away from home. The Iberian Peninsula is almost entirely surrounded by sea. To the north and west, it is the Atlantic Ocean. To the south and east, the Mediterranean Sea. Here, at Spain's southernmost tip, the Atlantic Ocean and Mediterranean Sea meet to form the famous Strait of Gibraltar. 13 kilometers of water is all that separates Africa and Europe. Each year, over 100,000 ships cross the strait. But ships are not the only ones making the crossing. In late February, the migration of gliding birds begins. Having spent winter in Africa, these birds are now returning to Europe to breed. But crossing the Strait of Gibraltar is demanding, and only the strongest of birds will make it to Europe alive. With the Spanish shoreline tantalizingly close, this black kite is almost there. But its strength is reaching its limit. The lack of thermal currents and the strait's powerful winds are the biggest obstacles. And waiting for it in Spain, yellow-legged gulls, notoriously aggressive, territorial, and brave. Also making the crossing from Africa to Europe, a short-toed eagle accompanies the black kite. Seagulls are specialists in aerial combat. Their attacks are well calculated, aimed to bring down the intruding enemy bird. If the black kite is downed, it's unlikely to survive in the water. Lacking waterproof feathers, it will almost certainly catch hypothermia and drown. Across the migratory season, many black kites will wash up on the shoreline of Spain. For those birds who cross the strait for years, this has been their final attempt at migration. Fortunately, most migrating kites do make it to shore alive. For our plucky explorer, his crossing to Europe has been successful. He joins some of the 80,000 other black kites who've also crossed the strait this year. But this is just a stopover, for he has traveled to Europe to breed in the same forest in which he was born. For now, rest and recuperation are in order. He must hydrate and preen his plumage so as to continue his migration in due course. In time, he will use the stars, the sun, and the Earth's magnetism to navigate back home to his birth forest. Once there, he will take possession of a territory and await the arrival of a female. In Iberia's woodlands, the spring rains are one of the great gifts of the year. Replenishing the soils after months of summer drought and frozen winter, they allow plants to bloom and life to awaken. And some have been waiting for this moment for a very long time indeed. Common toads. With the arrival of the spring rains, toads emerge from hibernation and race in great numbers towards their breeding grounds. Amongst the first creatures on Earth to live on dry land, common toads in fact live away from water most of the year. But when breeding, they seek it out, and the more, the better. When mating, male toads clutch to potential mates from behind in a grip that is known as amplexus. A male who has found a potential mate can remain enthusiastically piggybacking in this way for several days. Of course, it means the legwork of finding the perfect spot to breed falls to the females. Fast-running rapids are not ideal. This female toad knows she must reach calmer waters before laying the eggs she carries within. Searching for the perfect spot can take several days. For the female here, it's strenuous work. Despite the slips and bumps, the male's ride has been relatively comfortable in comparison. But as velocity increases, as they travel downstream, perhaps any quiet place will do. In spring, storms are frequent throughout Iberia. Warming air temperatures lead to unstable weather systems, allowing lightning to strike, thunder to roar, and the heavens to open. These storms play a vital part in the forest's ecosystem. The rains they bring are essential for amphibians who depend on the temporary ponds the storms create across the forest floor. once the rains subside, a call of love can be heard. Like common toads, natterjack toads are also mating at this time of year.